Hello everyone, my name is Frank. I'm going to take you for a tour of the Tramway bore today. I don't necessarily recommend that you go in this bore or any other mine. May or may not be safe for you to do so. This video is being provided for entertainment purposes only, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to. Tramway bore was built in Greenwood and it was supposed to go up to Phoenix, but it only made it about halfway there. To get up there, you just head straight up Bertha Street there, and you can park your vehicle there. It's pretty easy walk up there. It'll only take maybe about 5 or 10 minutes to get up. It's a fairly gentle slope. Just go up there to the left, and you carry on behind them people's property there. So this is the trail that comes up from Bertha Street up to the Tramway bore, and you come up and you start seeing this waste rock pile there, and that's all waste rock from the Tramway bore. So if you want to go to the Tramway bore, you stick to your left, and you just continue on the waste rock, and the mine's up near the other end of the waste rock pile. So we're just about to go into the Tramway bore there and have a look there. So this is a pile of waste rock there, so pretty fair-sized pile of rock. And one thing that was kind of interesting, these cottonwood trees. So you can see the size of those cottonwood trees. Well, they've grown since they quit putting the rock here, obviously, because they're all on top of the waste rock pile. So I think about 1912 or something like that, those trees would have grown sometime after that. And so away we go into the Tramway bore. These ribbons were here last time I was here. Kind of curious just about how much water's in here. There was a couple feet of water last time I was here, so I'm prepared to wade through it if I have to, but it'd be a nice surprise if I didn't have to. I got these pretty good boots here, so just slosh through it if I need to. Yeah, there's some water. Not too bad. There we are. Our lake boat in here. Our boots aren't doing too much good. That's okay. Not scared of water. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. Split up to my crotch here. I'm thinking it's probably going to go uphill, since Phoenix is uphill from here, so if it goes downhill, they were heading the wrong direction to get to Phoenix. There we go. Now we're just up to our knees. So. Beautiful big tunnel here, though. There shouldn't be any overpasses here. Pretty safe tunnel compared to other ones. Oh, there's a little bit of graffiti there. Somebody wrote that in there with a carbide lamp. You see them all over the place in mines. That black writing looks like someone took a Bic lighter and wrote something on the wall, but actually it's the carbide lamps they used years ago. I guess they kind of give off a pretty black smoke. So yeah, we're just up to our knees here, so doesn't get any worse than that. We're comfortable with that. I got some nice comfortable socks on and my rubber boots, so get good footing with the corks that I got. I got corks from logging. Interesting rock here. Seems to be kind of a different layer here. You see it's more of a sandstone here. pretty good echo in here. And that's more of a type of a copper type material. Make sure I drop this camera, it'll be very good for it. When you're walking along here, you think, we've walked quite a long ways already, but as you turn around and look back, it's not very far at all. Apparently this tunnel was built, it's about 3 miles from here as the crow flies to Phoenix. So they raised $1.7 million to build this tunnel. And the purpose of this tunnel was to go right to Phoenix and to connect a whole bunch of smaller mines that they had in the area. They had a whole bunch of smaller mines that had shafts and raises and stuff, and they had to bring all the ore up to the top, the surface. So the idea was to sink this big monster tunnel in through here and connect to all these other smaller mines and have this big railway in here, and then actually eventually go right up into Phoenix. And because the elevation, quite a change in elevation, I think between here and Phoenix, I'd have to check, but it's probably about 1,500 feet or so, maybe 2,000 feet. They'd be able to basically dig down underneath Phoenix and access a bunch of ore that they'd otherwise have to tunnel straight down into. This water is cold, but it's really clear, so it's easy to see where you're going, so no problem. I can't imagine there being any holes in here because, but I could see them anyhow, so it wouldn't be a problem if there was any holes in here. I can't imagine there's any danger of me falling down. And even if that did happen, I can swim, so. Well, I kind of expected it to be a little drier. I thought we'd get up a little ways and it'd be dry, but it's not getting any deeper anyhow, so. There's no, haven't seen any other passes or anything else. It's just a perfectly straight tunnel, straight back so far. There's no turns or anything here, it's just straight go. And as you can see, the railway tracks are gone, but the timbers, the ties are still in here. So it could have put a pretty decent sized train in here, fairly wide. Must be, it must be over 10 feet wide, and probably about 12 feet high, maybe 12 by 12. So this is a lot different rock than you normally see in mines. Doesn't seem to be any mineralization in this at all. And I think this is kind of part of part of a prospecting endeavor where they thought, well, they'd sink this in here and then they'd just see what was in deep inside. When we were hiking around looking for this tunnel, I saw a shaft going straight down, and I threw a rock into it, and it was a long ways down, and it splashed when it hit the water. So I think we're going to see that. So as we get closer to the end there, hopefully, we'll see a big shaft going straight up, and we'll look up there and see the sky, and we know where we are exactly. I better grab my cell phone, take it out of my pocket, because I don't want to go for a swim. Haven't quite hit my pocket yet, so. Everything else, yeah, we don't have to worry about anything else getting wet. I had one cell phone go for a swim a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't do it any good, so try to keep this one dry. So it'd be kind of interesting to go in here in the wintertime and see if there's any bats in here. And the bats, they hibernate during the wintertime, but they go elsewhere in the summer. I think it kind of depends on the temperature and the humidity if they prefer this or not. Well, it seems like we're getting shallower here. I got about 1.5 feet of water here, maybe. Must be awful nice hike going in here in the summertime, especially if it was dry. I guess if the guy took and did a little bit of work, he could probably drain all this stuff out, because I noticed before the water was running out of here a little bit. There's a lot of water in here. More graffiti in here. So one thing's important about coming in a place like this is I'm using quite a bit of, my flashlight is on a pretty high setting. So I'm using quite a bit of power. It'll run for about 40 minutes like that. But we've got 3 lights with me, so we don't really have to worry about all of a sudden being in the dark. Let's see how far back we are. Yeah, sure, it doesn't look that far when you're looking back. There's some more graffiti in here. USA. Tunnel, 1911 to Phoenix. Yeah. Phoenix that way. That looks like Canadian. The Canadian Tunnel. Oh, it's getting a lot more pleasant, I think. Before you know it, it'll be in the dry. 750, so possibly could be 750 feet. Yeah, it's a lot different than any other mine tunnels, eh? Because you never see it that straight. They're usually chasing after a vein or something. But here they just set the compass, whatever, and they know where they're going. Some more beer cans in here. So that's about the only rock I've seen so far. So I would say, as far as if you like exploring caves, it'd be a very safe one to get into if you're at all squeamish, because definitely very solid. In the last 100 years, there's been virtually nothing that's fallen off of here. So, oh, we're in the dry now. I just wonder if I should empty my boots out. The ceiling's not as high as it was either. Must have been starting to run out of money or something. Tramway board. So yeah, thanks. If I mention that or not, I'll just dump my boots out here. I really wanted to get into this. There's some flowstone. It's really cool. You think that's real slippery, but it's not. It's I don't know what flowstone's made out of. It's but yeah, if you see it on a steep incline shaft or something, you think it looks slippery, but it's not. It actually is really good traction. You can go up incredibly steep rock. It's really it's not sticky, but it's not slippery at all. It's really a good traction. Oh, that feels a little better. Put the dry boots now. And there we go. Make a little better time that we don't have to slosh through all this water. Might have to put this on fast forward. Not too much going on here. They took all the railway tracks out of here too. Would have been relatively easy. This rock here, so it looks a little bit more crumbly, more of a sandstone type. That doesn't seem to have fallen down anywhere. Looks good and solid. 1100. Be nice getting in here and getting a video of this because you never know when, they might block it off or something and can't get in here anymore. So it's a real treat to be able to get in here and share it with you people. Oh, that looks real. I don't know if you can see that or not, but those drops are real shiny looking drops of water. So this tunnel is supposed to be about 1.5 miles long from what I gather. They raised $1.7 million to build it. Got halfway through. I can't imagine they could have spent that much money on it. I know reading back in the old newspapers, the city of Greenwood put up, I think, $50,000 to help construct this tunnel. Kind of wonder if it was one of these stock market scams, because it was a company that there was a similar tunnel in San Francisco that was quite a successful, longer tunnel. So the company did a little bit of promotion there, raised the money for this, and started building this tunnel. And it didn't get finished, so I find it hard to believe they spent that much money on the tunnel that they built, that they done here. But it could have been that it was just disappointing as they went along, and they didn't really find any ore in here. But I think lots of these things are kind of a stock market scam. They hype something up and say, we're going to make all this money and we're going to get rich, and you can research it. And, they collect a whole bunch of money, pay themselves all a big salary to be administrators and directors, and set this whole thing up and piss all the money away. And, for some reason the thing never gets built. So I'm not really sure how. Seems like kind of a wacky idea to build a 3-mile long tunnel into Phoenix, but when they already had 2 railways going there, I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. One thing that I kind of thought that it would be on an incline, that it would go up more. But I guess if they wanted to get the ore under Phoenix, that wouldn't be the case. I'm not sure if the plan was to make it the same grade all the way back, or if they were going to plan on picking it up. Threw lots of writing in here. I don't know if that was really in 1919, but that's what it says. Well, the hole's getting further away. At least you know which way to go. Getting a lot warmer in here too. It seems to hold the heat pretty good. And you don't hear the echo either, when you first start in from the outside, it seems to echo, but here it doesn't echo at all. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. Never thought about it before. So when we get outside, I'll show you this great big huge pile. See how much ore there is, how much waste rock there was just from this tunnel. It's a pretty fair size pile of waste rock there, but not surprising. Oh, there we go, a little bit of a cave in here. Huh. Oh. A bit of a room in here. Looks like maybe somebody did a little partying in here. What do we got here? I wonder if that's explosive cord. Almost looks like it might be. Huh. Just a bunch of garbage here. Oh, there's a bit of a quartz vein there. A little white quartz vein there. Well, that's kind of interesting. Most times you'd see some gold or something coming off of something like that. So far, it's the only thing we've seen. Just go straight in. Other than that, I don't know what that is. Getting a few little curves here. Not going perfectly straight anymore. Yep, see, you can't see outside anymore. I'm not sure why the change. Doesn't look like they were chasing any mineralization or anything like that, but for some reason there's some gentle curves in here. There's some interesting graffiti. Beware of the goblins. Haven't seen any. Oh, actually, you can see the exit of the tunnel there. It's just wasn't at the right angle before. It's like quite a long ways away. So the other thing that's happening is stop filming there for a little while because it's kind of boring. It's just straight. There's nothing really going on. But the ceiling's getting lower and lower. So now we're probably, let's see, so, 7 feet or something like that. Started up about 12 feet. And maybe not quite as wide, maybe. Could be pretty similar. So maybe they started realizing that it was too ambitious of a project and they got to speed it up. Boy, some excellent art here, huh? Really see they drilled into there. 2,900 feet. 1924. 1940. Huh. 1935. Oh, we're almost at the end of the tunnel, so. So that's the end of the tramway bore. Most times they write stuff at the end of the tunnels. Just at the very end it kind of changed a little too. All of a sudden you got some different type of material that we didn't see all the way on the other part there. We're not seeing any copper bearing material at all. And there wasn't any other mines that actually ended up hooking up with this. It was just more or less a straight shot all the way right through the tramway bore. And you can actually see, I'll turn this light off. You can see the light at the very end of the tunnel. So. Yeah, you wonder why they stopped. Some place to fuck, eh? I don't know, I wouldn't know. Nordig, Alberta. So that's the tramway bore. It's a good thing there's some graffiti in here because not too much else that's interesting in here. So I guess we can start the long walk back. So there's a bucket. And that's really all there is for artifacts in this whole tunnel, other than some beer cans, which have not vintage by any stretch of the imagination. The tramway bore is probably one of the most boring mines you'll ever visit. Well, just not really a mine, but basically all it is just a big, long, straight tunnel, a mile and a half back, full of water in the front and dry in the back. So visit it if you like. It's pretty safe. I'd say probably the safest mine tunnel you'll ever go into, despite the warnings, but not all that interesting either.